So the topic we're going to talk about is how do we provide, at Cisco, how do we provide dynamic and actionable insights for our sales executives today, right? How do we use different technologies, and what are the different strategies we support, etc. So there is a small intro about me. So I'm a senior manager, part of America's sales strategy and planning. I like hiking. So this is the picture, recent picture from Yosemite Off Dome. I was hiking early this year. So I'm passionate about empowering our executives. Because if you look at the sales executives, right, so Cisco, let me give you a small intro about Cisco. So Cisco is a $50 billion company, and we have around 75,000 employees. Out of 75,000, around 25,000 are sales, right? And if you look at the sales, it's a $50 billion company. We have thousands of products. The sales always, like, do you think, most of the people think, okay, quarterly targets, right? Because that's what you hear from the earnings. But if you look at on the day-to-day operations, the sales moves week by week, right? That is the bottom line. They have the forecast for the week. And it is being tracked, how well each and every account manager or regional manager or a specific country, how they're reaching their forecasting target for a week. So when all the weeks gets add up, your month is good, your quarter is good, right? So when things goes by week, even such a bigger organization, things moves by week, the data needs to be almost near real time, right? So one key call out is we do a live reporting. We don't extract the data into Tableau. We do a live reporting, and the reports get executed within few seconds, like 6 to 8 seconds, right? How? That's what we are going to see it now. So if we provide right insights to our executives, they get the actionable insights, they can go and make actions, right? What will happen if you don't provide the right insights at the right time? They will be calling multiple people saying that, like, hey, can you go and look at why did we lose that deal? Can you go and look at what is going on with a high-value deal, right? Who are the competitors? So they will be kind of keeping themselves busy running behind different people, right? So instead of spending more focused on sales, they will be running behind some of the numbers, right? So we want to give them more time to focus on sales, starting not only for executives, starting from RMs and even account managers. We want them to focus, we want them to spend most of their time against focusing on sales, rather than building some reports, running the numbers, comparing the numbers, etc. Data reconciliation is not their primary job, right? It's as simple as that. So in detail, from the agenda perspective, so we are going to talk about how we use this platform. So this platform is a trio platform, we call that as. So it is the combination of Tableau, SAP HANA, in-memory database, on top of Cisco's UCS platform, right? So these three has been a great combination in driving the, the performance and providing the high performance insights around actionable insights for executives. So this solution, whatever I'm going to talk about, it is called Global Sales Intelligence. So this provides three key capabilities for our executives. One is it provides all the metrics they need to run the business on day-to-day basis, right? So when they log on to the application on a daily morning, they will figure out, okay, what was my forecast, how me and my organization is doing against that forecast, right? Okay, are we doing good? Awesome. If you're not doing good, why? Right? What are the top deals available? Who is working on it, right? Do they need any help? So it provides all the metrics for them to run the business on a day-to-day basis. That is the primary. The second one is you can't simply run the business without reviewing the business too frequently, right? So we have, starting from SVP, head of sales, to account manager level, there are so many calls, right, at the different level. It's happening to review, suppose, typically the famous call is RMs having with account managers, right? So for the current week, AM must have given a target saying that, like, hey, for this specific week, my target is going to be 2 million. Don't worry about it. I got it, right? But when you are into the week, say today is Wednesday, the 2 million, sometimes it will become 2.5 million. That is awesome. But sometimes it becomes 1.2 million, right? It goes down. So when it goes down, it impacts the overall region sales and the country sales and the theater sales, right? So it helps us. It helps in providing all the insights for reviewing the business. I gave you just an example, right? Even at the Americas level. So if you look at overall Cisco, a $50 billion company, but Americas, which includes LATAM and Canada, the total revenue is more than 50%, right? Americas provides 26 billion on average. That's a big money, right? So this GSI application is being used for reviewing the business by even the head of sales at Cisco to see, hey, how are we doing at the different country level, different region level, who are our top customers, what are the top wins, who are doing great, who are not doing well, who are the emerging competitors, right? So we want to detect somehow if the competitor is the biggest deal, right? It's not about sales numbers, but who are the competitors? What is the strategy we have to overcome them or win over them, right? That is the key thing. And self-service, right? If you ask me, not all the the same size fits everyone, right? So if you look at one of the reasons in the bigger companies, people have hundreds of silo reporting application. The reason is the enterprise application doesn't meet the specific requirement of a small function. They say, I'm different. I focus on software. I focus on cloud. I'm in services business. I focus on recurring offer, right? My business, yeah, definitely. Even whether it's a small company or big company, the nature of business or the nature of the behavior of each and every function is totally different, right? I don't complain. But if you provide a flexibility, saying that if someone has to go and build their own report using their own data, how much time they spend in collecting the data, validating the data, because it goes to top management. If management finds, hey, there's a problem with the data, who's going to be in trouble? That's the guy in data preparation, right? So preparing the data, preparing the report, sending it, and by the time the report goes to executive, they're not looking at the immediate data. They're looking at a week-old data or month-old data or quarter-old data, right? So you're not providing the dynamic, near real-time insights for our executives, right? So when we talk about flexibility, self-service, so at Cisco, we have enabled something called self-service platform, where each and every user, so we have around 20,000 sales users, not only the super users, even the regular users, RMs and AMs, they can go to self-service environment to figure out, hey, who is the top performer in my region? Or what is the trend of a specific competitor? Is it going up? Is it going down, right? And who is consistently beating the forecast in my team, right? And who are the top customers? Is some of the top customers buying all kind of a product from us, like networking, cloud, software, or they're focused on only one area? Or suppose when Cisco rolls out a new product, how this new product is rolling, getting adopted by the customers? Is it getting adopted by customers from a specific region, or it is from the customer in a specific area, like infrastructure or finance segments, right? So you can go and do those analysis on your own in matter of seconds, right? Traditionally, when there is a scenario like this, you give a request to IT, and IT takes a week if it's awesome IT, and sometimes it takes a month and quarter, because they have their own priorities, right? So things takes more time, and by the time the report is available to you, whatever the new product you rolled out, all the hype behind the product gone away, and the new product is in place, right? So the self-service analytics is one of the very famous use case in Cisco, not only in sales, in supply chain engineering. It provides a lot of freedom. The main part is the users, they don't need to spend time in preparing the data. The enterprise certified data with full security available on our data foundation. Any user, when they connect, they will see the data only they're supposed to see, because each and every user is treated differently based on whatever the nodes, sales nodes or regions they should have access for, right? So it's very simple. So yesterday morning in the keynote, they were talking about governance, right? So governance should be limited to just security, nothing more than that. That's what we do at Cisco. So if you look at, right, so this is overall Cisco. I'm not talking about just sales. As I called out earlier, Cisco is a 25-year-old company, right? And we reached close to $40 billion maybe 10 years back, within the first 15 years, right? The company grew very fast. And each and every business functions are so big with 20,000 people, 15,000 people on average. It's big, and they have their own priorities. So each and every functions, even though they leverage some of the enterprise data foundations, most of the business functions, but they have their own silo reporting. If you talk about the sales, the sales figure in sales department is different from engineering. And the same number is different in terms of supply chain, because they have their own rules, right? Say, for example, when we talk about sales, we consider product and service. And when supply chain looks at it, or when engineering looks at it, they focus on product, right? Not much into services. And even within engineering, if you consider some of the software, they look at only the software, right? So the lens, each and every business function they look at is totally different. So due to that, we had so many number of applications within sales. We had close to 100+ applications, silo reporting application, reports runs around through Excels. What is the drawback when you run your reporting through Excel and sending it to your organization, across your organization? The biggest threat is data security, right? Because when you send your Excel report to your VP, you're not sending it for the Vegas region, right? Or you're not sending it for a specific account. You're sending it for a bigger area, right? The entire state or the entire Western region or the entire Americas, right? So if that Excel goes to the person who is not supposed to receive it, or if the person moved out of the organization to a different organization, moved from sales to, say, some other function, so that if the person is part of the mailer, the data goes. That's the biggest data breach, right? So we want to kind of cut down, right? So with this solution, whatever we built, we kind of overcome that Excel-based reporting drastically, right? Because the GSI solution, whatever we built, it's providing all the information they need on a timely manner. So I think within a couple of more slides, I'm going to get into the user experience and visualization, right? Which will be the eye-opening for all of you. So when we started, I think this is whatever I talked about, right? So our key objective when we started this project was, hey, we want to provide the dynamic and actionable insight. We don't want to provide the descriptive analytics to our executives. Hey, what happened yesterday? What happened last quarter? We want to know, we want to tell them what is going on today, and is it going well or not well? If it is not going well, what are the actions you can take, right? Dynamic and actionable insight. And we want to use the standardized data definitions across the organization, whether the data is coming from Canada, or the data is coming from US commercial team, or the data is coming from the TAM team. When you say booking, it is booking. When you say pipeline for that region, it is pipeline, right? The data security is implemented for everyone. And then it has to be flexible and scalable so that operations team, they can run their own custom report based on their need, and enable business agility. If you know, there is one of the interesting truth is, Cisco does acquisition every other week. On average, we acquire 24 companies a year, right? So when you acquire a company, you need to integrate the data in, right? Because when executives look at it, they look at the overall sales together. When they look at the employees, or when they look at the customers, they look at it in a common perspective, right? That's when you can serve your customers better, right? So if you are not having the holistic view about what are the products you have, what are the common customers you have, then you are not reaching the real benefit of the acquisition, right? So this platform provides a lot of agility so that when an acquisition comes in, they come in immediately. And operational efficiency because we are killing a lot of manual processes. And from the persona perspective, as I called out earlier, it is supporting starting from account manager to SVP and head of sales. And from use cases perspective, run the business, QBR, monthly reviews, weekly reviews, funnel reviews, account intelligence, ad hoc reporting, etc. So this is our beautiful architecture here. So this is the kind of a simplest form of it. So not sure whether I have the pen. So let me go from the left side to the right, right? On the left side, we have all the source systems. See, we have our ERP systems, we have the sales creating engine, we have our sales account view, customer registry, and the data comes to our enterprise data foundation, and then here we have the high performance data foundation platform. This is for high performance analytics. So that is done on top of Cisco's UCS server, the black box you are seeing. That is a Cisco's UCS server. So we have SAP HANA, the in-memory database there. Right, so that is our high performance data foundation. And if you look at that data foundation directly gets the data from Salesforce every hour, right? If an opportunity is entered in a Salesforce by account manager, within an hour maximum, the data is in the box, right? So the executives, they're not looking at a month-old data, not even a day-old data, they're looking at hour-old data, worst case scenario. And the forecast call, the weekly forecast call, one of the magic call, right? So that call itself, it's 1 hour maximum for each and every region. And suppose during the forecast call, you finalize the number, being RM, you finalize the numbers for different account managers, you discuss, and then when they load the data in, I don't want to wait for a day or two to look at the holistic picture, how my overall region is doing, right? During the call, okay, finalized, Kevin finalized, Eric finalized, Jessica finalized, okay, load the data in. So the data comes in every 5 minutes. So when the data is loaded at the lowest level, immediately at America's level, hey, based on this forecast, whatever the calls we had today, how is the overall, the linearity looking like, right? They can get that picture within a few minutes, right? So we get the forecast every 5 minutes. And then we have a Hadoop data foundation, data lake, all those stuff. We mainly focus on some of the engineering data and quality and customer data out there. So we bring that feed as well. And from the presentation layer perspective, right? So there are 3 key components. One is the top one, that is the pre-canned dashboards, right? Those dashboards are built by IT, and also some of them are built by regional operations teams. It's built, it's available for executives to consume as it is, right? When I say as it is, the capabilities, the user experience capabilities are as it is, but the data dynamically changes from person to person based on whatever they're supposed to see. And the middle one is the magic one, the self-service analytics platform, right? Where when we roll out a new product, we want to find out who are the customers, who are the partners selling it more, which region is buying it more. So the self-service analytics directly connects to the HANA data foundation on top of Cisco UCS, and we pull the data. And also for sales folks, we have the mobile version as well. If you have any questions on architecture or anything so far, I can answer it now before we get on to user experience. Yes, please. Yeah, we do. We do.
So how many users, continuously, at the same time log in, and what's the ratio of infrastructure so that you're always serving the fastest dashboards?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And all those.
Yeah. So So latency perspective, it's very minimum, right? Very minimal. You know, we get the almost near real-time data from the data latency perspective. But from the user perspective, right? During the beginning of the week, end of the week, same way, beginning of the month and end of the month and quarter, it's going to be you know, the peak. So this application, it's intended for 5,000 active executives, right? So as of now, we kind of rolled this out just you know, 3-4 months back, piloting to 1,000 users. It's being used by top executives. So, and we have even some other applications where we have 2,000 users, 3,000 users. So concurrency perspective, during the end of the quarter, on average, like, you know, we get 800 concurrent users, right? Because they will be running a report, because they have to, if you look at in any company, right, good chunk of sales happens during your last business day of the you know, month or quarter, right? Whether you are in a car sales business or whether you are in a networking business, any business, right? The customer knows that's when they can get a discount, and we know we have some tools and techniques on the back pocket to track the customer during the towards the end of the period and get more business. Yes, please. Yeah, I got your second question, but sorry, what is your first question?
So the first question was, are you using the native iOS or whatever, Android Tableau
Yes,
application,
yes.
or are you developing custom?
No, we use the whatever the Tableau app provides, the natural one. Yeah, we haven't customized it, but our dashboard is customized using Java. I'm going to talk about that for excelling the performance. The second one, you know, we have, you know, for sales, we have the spectrum of sales apps, mobile apps for sales users, and it's all connected across each other. So they're like, you know, they get a seamless experience. It's not that like, you know, for metrics A, they need to go to application A. For metrics B, they need to go to application B, something like that. So we kind of streamline that. Any other question? Yes. Yes. Excellent question. I'm going to do a live demo with 500 million rows. You are going to see how quickly the data is going to come, right? So if you look at our booking data, right? Booking data, we keep in the main table, like, you know, we keep like, you know, last 3 years of booking data. That itself 1 billion, right? 1 billion rows. And then if you look at our forecast data is close to around you know, 500 million. And then pipeline is the most, right? Pipeline, like, you know, if you look at last 3 years of pipeline, right? We have like, you know, close to around 2 billion rows. Some of the report we have connecting all the three together, and still the data loads within you know, a few seconds, right? So as I called out earlier, we do a live reporting, no data extraction, and SAP HANA on top of UCS server doesn't require any aggregation. So it is a live reporting from the granular data, right? I'm going to do a live demo of you know, report with 500 million rows, and you can see like, you know, how quickly it's coming up. Yes. 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 Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's a great question. So, yeah, so the question was, you get the data into your data foundation in different frequency. So how the data, you know, the integrity of the data is maintained? That was the question, right? That's a very good question. Booking comes in every 15 minutes because we want to see the near real-time bookings. And then pipeline comes in every hour, and forecast comes in every 5 minutes, right? We have the confirmed dimension to connect everything, right? Say, for example, one of the main hierarchy or backbone we use for reporting sales data is using the sales hierarchy. So everything is done at the lowest level, account level, right, or specific region level. Say, for example, for account, let's look at XYZ as a company, right? And the booking will tell me, hey, what has been booked for XYZ company up to 15 minutes back. The pipeline coming from Salesforce, it will tell me what is the current state of the pipeline, right? In terms of what is booked, what is not booked, right? And the pipeline, we always look at looking forward, right? Yes, we worried about how much got booked, what got booked. But our main focus is, okay, this is our forecast to go, meaning the difference between our forecast and whatever the booking we did so far in the quarter for a specific region. How much of how much of pipeline we have to cover this forecast to go, right? So I don't see any integrity issues because everything is connected through time and the sales hierarchy, and you are reporting it. You are not reporting based on, hey, what happened in the last 15 minutes. You are reporting, hey, what's happening today? What's happening for the week against the weekly forecast, right? So that's well integrated. Yes, please.
So outside of booking and pipeline data, what else do you have in the data part? Do you have things like telemetry data?
Sorry?
Telemetry, like product data?
Oh, yeah. So definitely, right? So we have all the sales metrics, right? Whether you're talking about bookings, pipeline, forecast, plan data, these are the 4 key metrics. And then we have the product information, entire products, right? So we want to, suppose say if we want to do some analytics around new product, who bought it, who's not buying it, yes, we need to have the products, right? And some of the drill downs, some of the reports we have, you can drill down up to the product level, right? And then we have the customer. Customer is the biggest deal, right? So customer data, not only about customer name and address, what is customer's headquarters, and then what is the customer wallet size in terms of how much they want to spend this year in the technology area Cisco is in, right? So all this information, and partner is one of the critical aspect of Cisco's life, sales life, right? So we have a in-depth information about partners in terms of, hey, suppose, hey, if Cisco has $50 billion business in a year, how much is coming from partner, and which partner is doing well in which region, right? And which partner is having a trouble with some specific competitors, right? So we do all those analytics around partner as well. So we have the entire spectrum of data, whether it is directly related to sales or indirectly related to sales.
Yeah, let's talk about usage data.
Sorry?
Product usage data. Like data that's coming back from your box in the field. Is that something that you guys track?
Yeah, so we call that as a, say, install base, right? So install base data is in terms of, like, say, for example, Cisco is into big way into the network switches, etc., right? So when a customer buys it, when they install it, the data, data comes back saying that, like, hey, this is the install base ID for a specific customer, and they have the service contract, whether they have a service for the product or they don't have a service. If they have a service, when is that service expiring? When is it due for renewal? All those information is coming back, right? And even if a customer is having a problem with the product, right? We can, that is outside of the sales, it's done outside the sales, but the data is in the box saying that, like, hey, quality analytics, right? Saying, which customer has more returns, and where the return is coming, and which product family has more returns. What are the common problems? We have separate analytics for that purpose, but it is done outside this solution. Yes, please.
Are you doing anything with snapshotting or looking at changes within the pipeline?
That's a great question, yeah. So pipeline doesn't go without snapshotting, right? Because we want to see, okay, say Cisco fiscal year ends in July, right? So we are in the new year now at this point. First quarter of FY18. So suppose, say, I'm in the month 3, October is the month 3 of the first quarter, and I know I have a 80% of committed opportunities to cover my forecast to go. But what was my situation last year the same day, right? If you need to find out, you need to know the snapshot. You need to have the snapshot because pipeline is ever changing, right? So whatever was upside or committed yesterday, it got booked today, right? And something might have got canceled because customer is not interested in that anymore because of so-and-so reasons, right? So the pipeline changes. So you need to have a snapshot. Yes, we do it. We do a weekly snapshot. Any questions before we get into the user experience slides? Okay. So this slide, it's going to be there for your reference. So we are talking about why Cisco for SAP HANA and big data, analytics. So Cisco UCS, it's a very specialized solution for analytics, big data and analytics solution. And we recently got a innovation award in 2017 from SAP for implementing big data solutions on top of UCS platform, right? So if you have any questions, you have my email ID there. You can reach out to me. I can help you directly. So let's get on to a business, right? So before I take you to different screens, I want to tell you, kind of a disclosure, right? Please don't make any decision based on the numbers I show, okay? These numbers, what I show, is for the closed periods, and some of the screens are from the test environment, right? Whether it is the numbers are up or down, don't make any decision based on these numbers, okay? If you lose your money in the stock market based on this number, I'm not responsible. Let's keep it simple. So when an executive logs on, right? We don't want to make executive run between 10 reports to find out what is going on, right? So when they land this kind of a dashboard where they get the key insights in terms of how their business is running today, right? If you look at the leftmost, we're talking about, hey, what is the forecast to go? Forecast to go means, suppose say your forecast for the current quarter is 100 million, you got 70 million so far. So forecast to go is the difference, 30 million, right? So what is forecast to go? And the QTD actual is like, what is the quarter to date actual booking so far? And how is it compared to the last year same day, right? You're not comparing against the whole quarter of last year, last fiscal, the same quarter. You're comparing, suppose say if today is the 81st day of a quarter, you're going back and checking the booking 81st day of the last year, same quarter, and comparing. So that is the QTD growth, right? So compared to last year, we are 12.5% better, right? And this data, whatever you're seeing, this is not for the entire, Cisco. This is, I kind of slice this data for a specific node to maintain to some extent of data security, right? And then the second one talks about the funnel health in terms of this is your forecast to go, but how much of committed opportunity? Do you have enough committed opportunities to cover your forecast to go? Or you have less or more, right? How is the upside? And then, this one is one of the very interesting solutions. It's called Pipeline Waterfall. It talks about, hey, beginning of the quarter or beginning of the month or beginning of the week, how much pipeline we had when we began. And during the week, how much new opportunities we added and how much got booked, etc., right? And suppose if your organization has any growth drivers, you can kind of measure how the growth is going on, right? So here we're talking about the growth of the different pillars, and then what is the split between hardware and software, etc., right? So this is a sample. So suppose when executive sees that, like, hey, for IoT it is declining, for mobility it is declining, they want to kind of drill down, just click there, they go to a dashboard or report where it provides the complete spectrum of information about that specific incident, right? It is a combination of actionable insights and the gateway navigation. So if you look at this report, so this talks about for a specific quarter, right? So I'm going back to 2017 Q1 for a specific sales region or country. So here, how is my booking for the different countries, say for example, Brazil, right? Brazil for Q1, we are up by 25%, right? And then for Mexico, it is up by 16%, right? So that is one view. And then if you look at the bottom one, it talks about the segment. We kind of group our customers into different segments, whether they're enterprise, the big customers, or the commercial customers, public sector customers, we group them. So we also measure their performance or growth by the segment as well, right? But if you look at the net to net, the overall, whether you're looking at lens A or lens B, the overall booking is up by 10%, right? So this is one of the detailed view which talks about, hey, what is your bookings for that? Here I provided some very high level information, QTD, but some of our reports were week to date. For week by week, this is our weekly forecast. What is your week to date bookings up to this day? And do you have enough opportunities to cover the forecast to go all the stuff at the week level? So this is the waterfall, right? So you saw the smaller version on the landing page. So this is the bigger version. So if you look at here, the first column, it talks about 259 million at the beginning of the quarter. And then during the quarter, so far, so if you look at on the top, you can see Q4 week 9, right? So week 9 of Q4, this was the state. We began the quarter with 259 million. During the quarter, between beginning and week 9, we added 45 million worth of new opportunities. We booked 28 million. We lost 17 million. And then increase means like, maybe the customer initial, the pipeline was say 10 million, and then later, based on our upselling and cross-selling, the 10 million became 12 million, right? So for the existing deals, for 24 million got increased, and then for some of them, obviously, it got decreased. And some of them got pulled in, from the next quarter, some of them got pulled into this quarter, and some of them from this quarter pushed out, right? And then, now what is the situation, right? How many opportunities we have, right? So this provides, this view, you can have it at various levels. You can look at it entire Cisco, you can look at specific country, specific theater, or specific account, right? So it's a one view which is being looked at by head of sales until account manager, right? One view with different data at different level. So as I said earlier, the sales is always driven week by week, right? So this is one of the favorite chart. We talk about funnel health. So the green area talks about what is the actual booking. So this report was run on the week 9, right? You can see it on the top. So week 9 is right here. So the green portion is flat after because this is the booking you got so far. And then the dark blue talks about what is the committed opportunity. If you go with the current committed opportunity and based on your expected bookings, where you will land up by end of the quarter. And the horizontal line is the forecast of the quarter, right? So do you have right amount of committed opportunities to meet your forecast target, right? In this scenario, yes, we do. But do you think always all our committed opportunities will get converted into bookings? Never, right? If it is something wrong. So what is the upside opportunities we have, right? The top light blue, the area talks about the upside opportunities. Upside means it is just before getting commitment from the customer, but some of these upside opportunities will anytime can convert into commit and bookings, right? So suppose say if you're close enough but not meeting our targets, we can go and look at the upside area to see, hey, what are the very promising ones, and then focus on it, get it booked, so that you meet the targets. And this is at the weekly level, right? We track at the week by week, and our executives, right? It's a data. They're all data savvy. So if you look at these metrics, you might be looking at, okay, it's so many metrics, but each and every metric it has its own language, right? So you're talking about the linearity, how we are doing. How was the, see, what is the current linearity? And what was the prior period, right? Say, for example, I'm looking at Q4, week 9 of FY17. So this was, so when I say prior period linearity, this is for Q4 FY16, right? So this was the linearity for FY16. So how are we doing compared to the last year linearity week by week? The data always speaks for it, right? We don't need to make a guesstimated estimation, right? The data speaks for it. That's the beauty of data. And so everything, each and every metrics, our progress, whether are we doing okay, or way awesome, or way low, everything is tracked and governed on a week by week basis. Yes, please. No, linearity is bookings against bookings against forecast, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So here, yeah, we the objective of funnel health is, is our funnel healthy to meet our target? Right, that is the context. Thanks for raising it. So this, I'm going to do a live demo of this report. So this is one of the customer heat map, right? So this is kind of a very kind of a elegant view of our customers. And yes, bottom line, we have tons of data for the detailed analysis. So what this provides is, suppose, say, for example, if I'm an operational director, or when I'm a VP, when I log on, I will see who are the top customers, how much of business we have been doing with them for the last 3 years, how much of the business we are doing it this year, this month. And on the top, we have the business entities. It is kind of a product families, right? So how the sales for each and every product family is done against the customer. Is customer buying all our products? Or is the customer, say for example, wherever you see white, that means the customer, we are not doing business with the customer for that specific product family, right? So that means that's opportunity, right? So maybe there is a valid reason why customer is not interested, or maybe that's an opportunity. You can go and have a conversation with the customer saying that, like, hey, we have these new products, and this is going to go well with your needs, and this is what being used by some of your competitors, all this stuff. So it provides that heat map, right? And even for each and every box, right, you can see different color boxes. I have the legend on the top. So if it is blue, that means for that specific product family, we have both booking and pipeline for the customer. If it is pipeline, if it is orange, that means we have only pipeline, we don't have a booking yet. And if it is green, we have only bookings, no pipeline yet, right? So that is not good. You can have bookings, but we need to have the new opportunities coming in from the customer, right? So this provides kind of the current state of your customer against the different aspects. And you can do who are the top customers, who are the bottom customers, who are the customers bought products in that specific area. You can do all the customer analytics out here. And then the interesting topic, forecasting accuracy, right? That is the kind of a top-notch question for each and every sales executive. Hey, how accurately we can forecast in terms of how much bookings or how much sale we can do for a given period, right? So you can see that, right? For Mexico, for 2017 Q1, it is 198%, but still we call it as a red. Anybody knows why? Off the mark, right? So yes, you brought more business to us, that is awesome, but why you didn't know about it, right? Or is there any valid reason? There could be some valid reason. Maybe, it's a free money in country because of the interest rate, all those stuff, right? Where more investment happening, etc. That things can change because we are in a very dynamic and complex world. Anything can change anytime. So these are the kind of legends we follow. Suppose, say, if your actual booking is less than 90% or greater than 120%, we track you as a red. And if it is between 95 to 110%, we track you as yellow. And if it is between, 90%, less than 90%, and greater than 120 and less than 120, then we call it as yellow. So this provides a kind of a greater insights in terms of, hey, when your region, when your VP or when your OD, when your RM or AM say, hey, this is what I'm going to be getting for this month or this quarter, you have an idea saying that based on their track record, how accurate they are, right? So this is one of the very, very interesting insight. Yes. No. So this is the booking is at the end of the quarter. Oh yeah. So this is only for the closed quarters. Right. So what we do is, right, that's a good question though. The forecast, the plan is kind of a fixed, whatever we have for the quarter. Say plan is, say, 15 billion for the quarter, but the forecast changes on a weekly basis based on the dynamic. Because I'm telling you, right, we are in the very dynamic and complex world because your customer can be in trouble, right? The countries are getting into trouble. Countries are getting bankruptcy. Your partners can be in an issue. So it's a very complex world, right? So you need to have all the aspects of it. So here, what we do is, so the forecast changes even during the quarter. The whole quarter forecast can change, right? So what we do is we take at the end of the quarter what was the latest forecast for that quarter, and then what is the actual booking, and then we compare it. Yes, please.
So you just manually snapshotting that somewhere, what the initial forecast was, or
No. So, right. So the forecast, what we have is, we always have the, for reporting purpose, we don't report saying that, hey, this was your forecast and this was your number, right? We say hey, this is your number, actual number against the latest forecast, because let's keep it simple, right? Because latest forecast is your target, right? So that's what we report. So for reporting purposes, always what is the as of actuals against the current forecast, right? But for comparison purpose, we kind of maintain, hey, for every week, at the end of the week, what was the forecast numbers? So forecast, we maintain it in OMF. So we use Salesforce just for pipeline, right? So in the interest of time, let me quickly take you to the live demo. What I will do is, okay, I'm going to disconnect the screen because I want to kind of drill down onto a specific area for the data security purposes. Okay, so hope you can see my screen. Yes, you can. So this is our landing page, right? So this is the digital America. We want to digitize the whole America. That is the whole purpose of this digital Americas. And then, see how neat is the landing page? And then, all the, navigation framework, everything is on the left-hand side. Say, for example, when I click on, GSI, we have various modules like, pipeline, bookings, and financial performance, customer, partner, self-service, etc. So when I click on pipeline, I have various modules like funnel summary, funnel trends, funnel review metrics. So we have various dashboards. So basically, based on what metrics we report, we kind of group those reports under different modules like pipeline bookings. So whatever the framework you are seeing on the left, it's all Java, and the filters, whatever you're going to see in our dashboard, it's all Java. The main visualization, the dashboard, it is Tableau, right? So say for example, this is the kind of a live report, right? So this talks about, hey, how much of opportunity got created for each and every week, right? Say, for example, if you look at the week of Jan 22nd, we created 22 million worth of opportunity for this specific sales region. I think this is Brazil or something. So we created 22 million worth of opportunities, right? What is the status as of today? The status as of today is 17 million booked, and then 4 million got canceled, and then around 1 million got lost, right? So if I want to find out, when I click on the 17 million, I'm going to get the breakup of the 17 million in terms of, hey, Brazil how much, Mexico how much, and the mixed country operation, which includes Uruguay, Chile, all those countries. What is the numbers? And then when you click on it, what are the different deals? So these deals are coming directly from Salesforce. So if you look at, I can go directly to Salesforce from here to complete. I kind of hidden a lot of attributes. Say for example, customer name, partner name, sales rep name. I've kind of hidden all those information because I want to save my job. I love Cisco, right? So you can go. So from the top, right? So top, you're talking about at high level. And then you kind of, when you click on it, you see the breakup by the country level, by the next level of regions, and you can kind of drill down further. And then here you get the deal level information, right? When suddenly you see, hey, more cancellation, it is something alarming. You don't want to, as executive, you don't want to pick up a phone and talk to a bunch of people saying that, like, what's going on, right? Everything is available for you, just one click, right? So it's called gated navigation and actionable insights, right? So this is one of the greatest use case. And then with that, right, I'll get into a live demo of our self-service analytics, right? So this table, this is the HANA, like, we connect to a view. So this view has 500 million rows, right? Because the bookings are kind of summarized at the order level. So suppose if I'm a user, right? When I connect to bookings live, I'm accessing the live booking, but the security is there. If I'm RM for Vegas region, I will see only Vegas data. Doesn't matter, right? I'll see only Vegas data. So now, let's see how quickly I want to find out. Hey, at the Americas level, last quarter Q4, how a specific product family did it, right? Business. So let's see how quickly I can do it. So first, let me go and say apply filters, because we have tons of years of data. Because self-service is also used by our data scientists, so they need more data. They love more data, right? So I want to just look at 2 years of data, right? And then I want to look at, say, Americas. And even within Americas, say, let me look at LATAM. Right? So now, let me get here again. See how quickly you got it. This is the live data, guys, through VPN, right? I got the data within 2 seconds, and I'm not talking about 2 days data or 2 weeks data. I'm talking about 2 years of data, right? This query got fired against a table which has 1 billion rows, right? So it is that quick. It is, right? It's not only that, right? Say for example, I want to kind of drill down, guys, right? As a data analyst, scientist, I want to kind of drill down. Let's see how quickly I can drill down. So we have the hierarchy built in. Right? Right? So from Americas, I went to Latin America, Latam, and then from Latam, I went to the different countries. Each and every click takes less than 2-3 seconds, right? And you know what? I changed my mind because I'm a human. I want to look at this information by business entity, right? Which is the kind of a product hierarchy for us, right? So now for Brazil, I'm looking at how much of bookings we got for each and every business entity, collaboration, computing systems, etc., right? And I'm not done yet. I want to kind of drill down further, right? I get into product families. So suppose if I want to look at the bookings for only NX 3K and 7K, and if I want to do some comparison analysis, right? So that is the beauty of it, self-service analytics, right? No pain at all. And this capability is available for each and every sales user, right? Out of 25,000 users. And they can go, they can feel this self-service place as their own home. They can drag and drop whatever they want to do, they can analyze with a basic knowledge.
Question, do you set the security at the query level, the database level?
Yeah.
So everybody accesses a set query?
Yes.
It depends on their role.
Yes.
They pull that data.
Yeah. Not only based on the role, it's also based on your user ID.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. Single sign-on.
It knows.
Yes.
What data to
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
How much resourcing is required for this project? How many people do you think have to work on it between IT, your team, I know you guys are executing on a big scale here.
So if you ask me only the user experience, the visualization, everything, the reporting solution, we built maybe on an average our team size was 4 or 5 people for the period of 2 quarters, because that with Tableau, it's very easy of doing business with Tableau, right? You can build it quickly, and if your key stakeholder doesn't like it, you can go and change it, right? Quickly. It doesn't require a lot of time, right? So time to market is way high, and your good amount of time is needed. Data certification. If you're starting a new data foundation, then preparing the data, certifying the data, all those things might take some time. But visualization is pretty easy.
Yeah, I guess I'm talking about the infrastructure.
Oh, infrastructure side.
Yeah, I guess you guys already selling that as one solution.
Mm-hmm.
HANA UCS.
Yeah. Yeah. So people can get things can set it up within a days, right? Things can up and run within a couple of days. It's like that. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
I think
Yes,
great
Sudarshan.
presentation, Senthil.
Mhm.
We have a deep dive IT session on everything what happens behind the scenes from this exact same business use case. We have a session at 1:30 to 2:30. We're going to show how it actually happens in the back end. Everything with HANA, tips and tricks, so you can actually learn how it actually runs services. So that's at 1:30.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. If you have any questions, I'm available. Thank you. I appreciate it.